Hey there, Sam. Sometimes we just want to test a certain API or play around with the API as we read through the documentation. But do we really want to go through all the trouble of going to our code editor, writing the fetch function, and finally running our JavaScript in the browser? Personally, I think this is just way too much of work. Just because I'm a lazy, aka efficient person. So let me introduce you a better way to do this. There's an app called Postman that will solve our problems in just a few clicks. Let's download the app and run it. The link is in the description. Once you sign into the app, this is probably the first thing that you will see. It looks very scary, so let's just click on the close button. And then you'll see the screen. And this is where we'll spend most of our time on in Postman. So here we can select our request method, the API endpoint, and the configuration of our request. We can put in any parameters that we want to send along with our request, the authorization type, the request headers, the body, or write a pre-request script for people who want to automate some task. And the test panel is for automation again, which is for advanced applications, and we won't be looking into it in this lesson. Now, let's try to send our very first API request. Let's type in google.com in the URL bar. So now we're sending a GET request to google.com, and we get a HTML document back in the response body. We can select the pretty printed version, where Postman will highlight the syntax, and the raw version, which is just a plain response from Google. And preview would be the rendered version of this HTML document. Postman also allows us to investigate the cookies and headers of the response. All the data is listed in here. Let's take a look at a more concrete example. Here's the COVID API that I introduced to you in the last lesson. The link again is in the description if you want to take a look. Let's pick an API endpoint that accepts parameters. This endpoint here will get all COVID cases for a certain country. And this endpoint accepts two parameters, the from and to parameters. The from is the starting date, and to is the ending date of our data. Let's try to call this endpoint in Postman. I'll copy the main URL without the parameters and paste it inside the URL bar. Then I'll put in the from and to parameters according to the documentation. Click on the send button. And now we see an array of data returned from the server. Let's try to change the from and to date and see if that's working. And the data now returned back is now based on the to and from dates. If we want to test different types of HTTP methods, remember, we just need to select the corresponding methods from the drop-down here. So that's a quick intro to Postman. It is a great tool to test out API and investigate the responses. Key takeaway for this lesson: Postman is a wonderful HTTP client. We can use it to send HTTP requests to test out different kind of API endpoints. That's it for this lesson, and I will see you again in the next video. If you enjoyed the content of this video, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell icon for more content to come. It will really help me out. Thanks for the support.